Hello everyone, welcome to The Sage, the youth segment. And today we'll be discussing an issue that is very important to every one of us, every young person, every adolescent, and every parent in Nigeria. If you remember in the last segment that we had young people talk about our living situations in Nigeria. And one of the issues we raised was that family upbringing determines a lot of what happens to a young person later on. It affects what they do, how they behave, their values, and their belief system. So, which is why we decided this segment was very important, because everything starts from the upbringing of that child, of that young person, of that adolescent. So that's why we're here today. We're going to be discussing something I titled Social Media Parenting. But it's way beyond that. It's the influence that comes from it. The influence from the web, from what we see on the televisions, from what our Nollywood movies and our music videos are portraying. Our supposed celebrities on Instagram. What are they teaching our kids? What are they portraying to young people that this is acceptable and this is not acceptable? Why should a young parent be nurturing their kids at home and the internet is doing something otherwise? There's a balance that is not there. Something is wrong, and we're sorting it out today on The Sage. So stay tuned. There was an issue recently, this Kaduna shooting. Breaks my heart. Just to say that after that shooting, my brother was supposed to be transferred to a government office there. Same institution, but he wanted to relocate to. He said he think he can. I said, can what? In the name of Jesus. I said, it will not happen. He said, no, I don't like this place. It's not bubbly. I said, don't bubble anything. Stay. Because I'm trying to imagine the state of that young doctor that died. The family that's still grieving, the siblings that have lost somebody precious. I can't even do, like, that was how intense. I still called him even last week. I hope you're not thinking of, just stay where you are. We love you, don't worry, it's fine. If you can't come to Abuja, stay where you are. But it's not like even the Abuja is safe.
Yeah.
Do you get? But my own is, what I'm trying to bring out from that particular incident was, in her final moments, she's like, let me go on Twitter and tell people so that they can quickly get help. And the response, I read it. And me that I'm leaving, I almost got depressed with the words. So imagine, I'm like, while she was passing on, was she reading these comments? That is not a way to die. And I'm like, what is wrong with the Twitter rages? I'm sorry, let's bring it down to the cyberbullying. It's not nice. I feel people bring I'm sorry, I'm going to leave it to Lillian to answer this issue, but people really bring broken people hurt others. That's just the honest truth. Hurting people hurt others. And they bring it to the internet.
Because
they're hurting themselves. How can you tell someone to go and die? I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional now.
Well, may God rest her soul,
Amen.
First of all. And personally, I don't follow negative news, to be honest. I don't, for the sake of my mental health. I don't follow negative news. So even when I read that Kaduna Abuja attack, I really didn't follow it. I just knew there was an attack, and I tried to occupy my mind with something more positive, exactly. But for the people that cyberbullied her, cyberbullying is when you bully somebody with the use of digital technology. It could include social media, regular text messages, and anything you use technology, For those people that cyberbullied her, well, I would want to pick from what Ms. Chinelu said about the mental health of some people. People just want to use every opportunity that they have to vent their anger on other people. And that is wrong. That is wrong. I pity maybe younger people, adolescents, that will go online, you post something and then somebody will just say something nasty about your post.
Yeah.
You know, say, okay, what kind of gown are you wearing? Or just something nasty, something unpleasant that you wouldn't want to hear. I tell you what, even if that child, permit me to use that, even if that child has 1,000 positive comments, that one negative
self-esteem
exactly will affect his self-esteem, and these people, they are just angry unnecessarily. They are looking for who to break.
Now you're talking, I'm just thinking of an instance in terms of business. I think that somebody put up a post about allergies, like some people are allergic to crayfish.
Yes. Yes.
So in just a normal post, the person was talking about crayfish, that especially those who are into spice production and all that have to pay attention to what their combos are and all that. And the next thing, my sister called me, go to Instagram, they've tagged you. Wow. Do you understand? And then I went to the post and I saw somebody, I don't even know the person. I can't even remember associating myself with the person, but I think the person bought some spices for me. I think those in Jehovah's Witness, they don't eat crayfish, but if you tell me, I customize your spice for you. So you have to tell me what you're allergic to or what you're not eating, and then I customize it. And so the person was like, yes, that was how he bought spices and couldn't use any of the spices because they all had crayfish. And I think she bought the spices from my sister because she's a distributor as well. So she now tagged me like, come and respond. I'm like, okay, out of all my spices, I have just 2 spices. I use crayfish. So if you use that one and didn't want to use that, I really apologize for not having everything stated out. But henceforth, we've actually stopped using crayfish even then, because even the cost of crayfish was even expensive, So what we did, we went into fish instead. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but we have also changed that. The only thing that has crayfish in it is the spiced crayfish, which is there in the label. So you know that it's spiced crayfish. So some people might just have, I don't know, will I say baggages? You had an issue. You didn't even communicate with the person you bought it from. Yeah. And then you see a post on social media, and the best thing you could do is tag that person to bring the person down.
And it goes viral.
Do you understand? So it applies in every aspect of our life. So okay, you now probably destroyed the whole spices you bought because you saw crayfish in one. And while you were buying that, you didn't even indicate that you had some allergies or you had some issues. So why don't you even send a message on, let's assume you didn't even buy it from me, you bought it from my distributor. Why don't you send me a message? My contact is on the label.
Yes.
But instead, you want to call out on social media. So social media is a place that a lot of people feel. In social media, a lot of people are lions, but in real life, they're grasshoppers.
Honestly.
So they feel like they can have a voice on social media, or they can pull somebody down on social media. So they just go into cyberbullying.
I think that's
low.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, their self-esteem is low. Truly. No, I was just.
I have to say, it just reiterates the strength of social media's influence. Not just social media, but what we see online, the kind of influence it has. We've seen that it affects our adolescents in their upbringing. We've seen that it affects young people in their mental state. We've seen that it affects even young businesses. And my thought is it that the pros are more than the cons? I don't know. What do we do, ladies?
Well, when it comes to the pros and cons, that's why so many religions, even if you're the Buddhists, the Christians, even the Muslims, everybody preaches balance. It's only natural, even Mother Nature, Mother Earth, even life, the circle of life, and there's balance. Now, when it comes to pros, of course, social media. And to think that, when we're growing up, there was nothing, it was just, maybe you just had a landline, right? And then it was the privileged families that had televisions, and then your friends have to come and look through the window to watch, that kind of thing. But now it's not like that anymore, right? It's not like that anymore. So social media has actually helped, it has gone a long way in socialization and communication. Disseminating information has become easier.
Yeah, it really helps with answers.
Exactly, exactly.
The people that were arrested, we could track them down.
Exactly. So to keep the government on their toes, like they don't really want, because now on social media actually, like, this thing where they say the world is a global village. They actually really brought it together. Where anything that's happening here, this enters all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Celebrities were tweeting about it. It was really nice to see Beyonce having a say, or Viola Davis having a say, saying we're supporting Nigeria. Like, are you serious? So it's a nice place where everybody's like seeing everybody. Everybody, is relating with everybody. And now for our children and our adolescents, so it's a learning. See, COVID just came. Yeah. And imagine where we're still backward, where we don't have these gadgets and everything. Yeah. School hurts, everything just shuts down, right? So now with that, learning became easier. There's Microsoft Teams. And then again, another good side about it now is that this computer survey, everybody, a lot of children can, go about visiting. Yes, exactly. Another good thing about it again is when it comes to, educating them. I know a lot of vocabulary. Children pick vocabularies a lot from cartoons, really nice ones. They speak some kind of English, you'll be wondering.
I'm telling you.
Their teachers don't even have to, even pronunciations.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm guilty. My little niece, I went to the kitchen to fry eggs for her. And I was like, where's this spoon for egg? Auntie Nello, it's called the spatula. Oh, spatula. I say, yes. I watched it in my cartoon in Nick Jr. It's called spatula. I said, thank you very much. So, I'm like, I just took it for granted that these are things that they gain.
Yeah.
So as parents and everything, we should actually just, once we can strike a balance by minimizing, getting, because there's parental control everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Even to have a Google account, you have to be up to 13. A 13-year-old is still a child, but not a child anymore, right? Yeah. Good. So these things, so the gains are actually so all over the place. Even now, for parents that always shut down conversations, intimate conversations and all, they go to the social media and they browse these things, and and then so many information is there. That's why the key thing is just that control. It's very important. Control. Yes, it's very important. But when it comes to the cons, man, the cons just make you look as if the pros are just
nothing. And
bad news sells.
Yes.
Bad news
is just
it
all
moves
over.
like the speed of lightning. It's just everywhere.
Yes, and children are addicted. Internet addiction. They are deprived of sleep. You see some parents that are not hard on their children. When you go to bed, they're watching. Like my little niece did it one day, yes. She just, her dad is more sympathetic. Her mom will always scold her. She waited and told her mom that she wants to sleep in her dad's room today. The mom was like, whatever. Me, I was actually reading. Just for me, I was hearing, Nick Jr. or something, or all these YouTube kids. And I opened the door and it was 5:30 and she gets up by 6 to prepare for school. She was watching it and her dad was sleeping and she was watching. Wow. I just closed the door back. I didn't even know where to start from. I just looked at that, I just closed the back. Wow. And then left. 6 o'clock, her mom got up. Get up. Belle, come on. She was sleeping and having her bath. Sleeping and eating. Sleeping. The mom was wondering.
And that day won't be productive for her.
Yes, exactly. The mom was wondering, what's wrong with you? What's going on? Why you? She was worried that, but you slept throughout. I said she didn't sleep. She was watching YouTube Kids. Up to 5:30
Even adults, where we do that, it's hard for us of a child.
Very deliberate. Do you understand? And then it's both parties. Now, if it was her mom, of course, she would have been sleeping. But her dad just, daddies and their girls.
Sorry to cut you. It brings me into issues of, for a child that young, because till the age of 18, you're still under someone. Do you understand? You're still under nurturing. It's like the internet versus my parents.
Exactly.
Social media versus my parents. That celebrity online versus my parents. So I see one celebrity online do this. My parents saying don't do this. Who wins?
The person that wins is definitely the person that appeals to what you want to do. Children don't like being told what they, even adolescents especially.
And they're manipulative.
Very, very.
Very manipulative.
So they don't like it, so they'll obviously go for that one. So you can even naturally say, if you won't, anybody that tells you what to do and is inconveniencing, go and wash plates, go and clean the house. It's stressful. You rather just watch TV. So when you see that celebrity chilling, doing parties, you definitely told
You
that
want to
lie,
have fun
right?
with the person.
You know, yes, exactly. So these things is just, it's sad because then again, social media limits children's movements, like this obesity, especially for in the foreign world,
Even
right?
socialization in terms of physical, you see that they don't want to talk to their fellow.
Yes, they're more
humans,
interested in that
on their
iPad or their
phone,
phones and
yeah,
everything.
you
They
know?
don't even like talking to people, like engaging in people. They prefer, gadgets and everything. So that these things are just balanced. Like she said, if you must actually have a phone at home to reach your kids, which is important, there's touch phone. Yes, and it functions exactly. There's touch phone, and let's not forget again, and all these gadgets and everything and information and the research is coming out. They're not actually even too good. There's radiation. There's some form of radiation.
Yeah.
It's not even something that is good for them. The screens and all, where you're always looking at the screens, is damaging. Their eyesight and everything. So. But then again, it doesn't take away the advantages,
the
right? It doesn't take it away
advantages,
because,
So
yes.
I have to
yes.
say, which way Nigeria, please? Because I'm like, I'll still make reference to our last youth segment, just if you remember. And I remember saying that while growing up, it wasn't a popular, you couldn't boldly be proud to say you're a Yahoo guy. But now it's a trend. No, it's news, like
Even the celebrities are bullying themselves. So what are the examples that they're giving?
Exactly.
This person is saying, I went to so square and I sold out. This one is saying, I'm selling out a bigger square. Who's the boss,
Exactly.
so which way Nigeria?
So which way Nigeria is? I'll actually pick from National Orientation Agency. They say change begins with me. They propagate it everywhere. It's all over the place. Change begins with me. Although it's not actually beginning with any Nigerian sector or their government. But let's not be like them, right? Let's not be like them. Let's really take that word literally. Change begins with me.
With
right?
me and my household.
And my household. Thank you. That first unit of socialization, which is the family, very key. Very, very key. So when we actually get it right, you find out that when everybody has something good coming out of them, all those things will naturally reduce.
Yeah.
It will
They'll
naturally cyberbullying, this mental health, issue where it affects people. It happens. It's not magic. No. It's like she said, deliberate effort at something. Yeah. Just like growing businesses. I've actually learned a lot from C4C anyway. And this platform, because growing a business is not easy.
It's not
Anything
easy.
that actually is productive in life,
it's not easy.
You must suffer for it, right? Yes, it must be deliberate. Growing a business is not easy. Weight loss is not easy. Making money is not easy. Anything. Do you understand? Yes, effort needs to be put in. So we need to start educating our children, our adolescents, that nothing in life comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. Yeah. That all, like Madam Gozi said, start telling them. So even if the influencers have failed to do that, they only portray, because social media is so, people portray their fake lives there. People portray what they want you to see. And then when you go behind the scenes, it's not the same. At all. So we need to start telling our children that it's not all that glitters isn't gold.
It's not gold though.
It's far from it. That this thing, this is that. You share your stories and nothing actually good comes easy. You must give in something to get something. Even for those that are rich, people underestimate when you're born into a wealthy home. If you're born into a wealthy home and then you're not productive, that money will finish. It doesn't last. It's just a matter of time.
Definitely.
So you're supposed to be very responsible enough to keep it going. Also instill that discipline in the generation coming up so the money continues. When you read about the Trump family and all these very rich families abroad, that is the way it is. You're learning that money actually just gives you a very soft landing where where you go to good schools and everything. You don't really have to now suffer like many people that have to start from the scratch. But still, there's still discipline. They still need discipline to actually keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah, so that change begins with all of us. All of us. It's a collective effort. It's a balance between the old ages like our moms and our grandmoms, and then the new generation mommies. Yeah. Let's not be quick to fight teachers. Let's not be quick to fight people that are trying to correct your
this
child.
time and age, you actually have to sign a form if you want them to spank your child.
Wow.
In schools. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this thing I don't get it, because now, like she said, like the baby that died, so rest in peace, but when you want to spank a child, there's sizes now. You find decade, there's a person's size. But the spanking is actually key.
I don't deviate. which way Nigeria with our influencers? Which way?
For me, influencing is a very important part of my business. It's a very, very, very important part of business. On Instagram, for instance, I don't have a personal handle. I just deal strictly on business, you know. So we should know when to separate our personal life from our business life. And that has really helped me because, you know, there are a lot of internet trolls. People who are just there to monitor you. In fact, from internet, from the social media, you can tell some people's lifestyle.
Yes.
You can tell everything they have done in life. Do you understand? So what for me, yes, there are a lot of negative aspects of all that, but it's a fundamental part of business for entrepreneurs as much as you can accommodate. It's a very important part. So I try to see how I can use these social influencers to boost my brand, sell my products, make money for myself, you know. But at the same time, like Chinelo said, control is the major thing, you know, control, because in as much as you want to be careful, the kind of things that pop up, you know, they have all this pop up. You can just on your internet and then say, oh, I'm hungry, I'm moody, or I'm, you know, crazy things, you know. So you need to work on your children, work on their mindsets. If you're a Christian, use your Bible to teach them. Let them be able to. I said last week, I almost fainted. But I just kept my cool, and you know, because on Friday they had like a teen stock kind of thing on the phone, you know. But the kind of things they were saying, I was like, which one is that one? They say, you've not heard, that one has a lot of pornographic. I say, Jesus, I want to you know, yeah, you know, but they can, you know, based on their own part of the conversation, I could hear things like, it's okay to be different. You know, it's okay to be this, you know, different games. You know, there are some games that when they say something, if you have done it, you bend your hand, every other person, you know, because these days being a virgin is a shame.
Yes.
Being a Christian, a child who is brought up in such a way that you have not done crazy things is a shame, you know. But for you to see children who would say it's okay to be abnormal, when we are going to, you know, the response something gave was, when we are going to heaven, we'll be smiling at them. It's not that we wish them hellfire, but it's okay to be different. So we need to train up these children from childhood to understand that there's diversity in life, but you must always make the right choice. And using the scripture, because how long do you want to beat them? For how many years do you want to beat them?
You know, I'm trying not to deviate into that, but I have to say this, just to agree with what you say. I know of somebody who, he will come home, he was the best child at home. But when he misbehaved, they will whisper. So he knew that anytime he misbehaved, they will beat him black and blue. So he started behaving himself. But now he's in university. He smokes. He takes weed. He does shisha. And I'm like, all these things we don't do in the house. So he obviously, because he's always on his phone, because the beating made him exclude himself. So he's always on his phone. So he's extracted from his parents because of the kind of nurturing. And he gave those influencers time. Till now, it's how to stop it. He can't. That means he started way back from secondary school. It has eaten deep. So just to round up, again, which way Nigeria?
Change begins with me. And for this child, I would recommend therapy. Yeah, I would recommend therapy. I know it's not something that is very common in Nigeria, but I know some rehab centers in Port Harcourt that I've heard about. There are rehab centers in Port Harcourt. I don't know if
There are some in Abuja as well, private owned.
Private. So that is what I would recommend for that child.
And then again, there's always something good that comes out of it, or not necessarily good like that, but training our children to have to have tough skin is very important.
Yes.
Now, if they always have to have soft landing, where we're always preaching these things, they won't toughen up. But just let it not just be too much, right? So they need sometimes this trolling and cyberbullying, even bullying, physical or cyber.
Bullying,
sometimes it actually helps in that balance we're preaching, where you know that the world is not all cupcakes and rainbows like how they tell them trolls. You know, so it's not like that. You know, so there's life is real. Everybody don't expect, you are expected to behave in a certain way, but it's not everybody that will do that. So you shouldn't allow yourself to be brought down by people, by negativity. So actually, everything just helps to still build the person to be a stronger person.
Moi, as a mom, what are your final words?
Okay. I would just say we should just, like she said, we should balance it out. We should just balance it out. You can't say our children should not, you should not allow them to see what's going on in social media or control it. Because they learn from it. My daughter speaks here, you think maybe has traveled out and she just came back. But she learned that just watching a few people talking. That's what she learned that from. But at the same time, let's balance it. Let's pray for our children. We need to pray for them. That prayer is a key thing. We need to keep praying for them. And even when they are friends, they should pray to God. They shouldn't influence them badly. Then just build that self-confidence in them that even when somebody tells them something, they should have a mind of their own. You understand? And when they see somebody doing something bad, they should be able to come to you, tell you about it, and you know what to do. Let's talk more. Let's make this possible. Let's have communication. Let's communicate well.
And adding to what she said, please, parenting. When they say parenting, please, goes both ways, please.
Yes,
Moms and dads, not just moms. Africans have this way of just relegating everything.
Yeah, then when something goes wrong, it's
the
the mother.
So moms and dads have a lot to do. It's a joint effort.
Wow. In fact, I don't want the show to end, but it has been an amazing conversation with so much in-depth information. But if there's any one thing that I would leave for every young person and every adolescent watching, be strong. You need to build up your self-esteem. You need to look at yourself in the mirror every day and know that you're beautiful, you're smart, and you have a mind of your own. A mind that is built up with the right values, the right belief system, and is good-hearted. So you have the strength to say no when you see things that you know will be detrimental to you. It's fine that you don't smoke. It's fine that you do not drink. You do not have to blend. You can stand out. You don't have to do drugs. You can be healthy. And it's not weird to be healthy. It just means you love your good life. You don't have to do Yahoo. You can have your peace of mind, so you won't be checking your window every time to know if the police is coming for you. You don't have to kill your girlfriends. Money will come to you one way or the other. Keep putting in the work. So, thank you for being with us on another segment on the Sage, the youth segment. Keep in touch. More is still to come.